so recording has been started. So first, configuring the management port. Second step, do the licensing. Third step is allocation of the resources to the module that we want to run on our hardware box. And after it, then this is an optional step. Okay, you don't need to do it right here, right? Installing the device certificate. It is not mandatory one, or you can whatever you can install the default, whatever the big IP device will do. Later you can change it. Okay, then is the configuring of the platform, right? This step, this one, we have activated the big IP device. Up till the time we have completed the fourth step, your big IP device will be ready to do the traffic processing. Now we have to configure the network component, right? Configuring the platform, internal VLANs, external VLANs, right? HA VLANs, and the last step is to configure it for traffic processing, pool, nodes, and virtual server. Okay, so we will go through this step by step, right? It is really easy. I have got a you will do it 1-2 times, you will get a hang on it. Okay, so any question in this? I think now up till the time our device would have booted up. One more thing is the into the CLI. Okay, if you want to log into the CLI, by default only the root account is get the privilege. The root will get the privilege to enter the CLI, right? So this is the root account. By default, the root account has password that is root and default. Okay.
Okay.
Username will be root and password will be default DEFAULT. So you can change it later, but for the first time when you will enter into the CLI, right, these are the default credentials of the root account. Okay, you got it, guys?
Yeah.
So first of all, you will check if config Ethernet 0, right? This is the management IP address that I have given. Okay, this is not a default IP that comes with the box. The default management IP of the interface is so the default, first of all, the root, there are two types of account. One is the root, and one is the admin. These are two default accounts that are present, right? So root account password is default, which we will use while getting the CLI. This will be used for the CLI. Okay, and this is the admin account, and by default it is only enabled for the GUI. Okay, and the password is admin. You can change it later. Okay, so with the root account you will get only access to the CLI, but with the admin account you can also get the access of the CLI as well, but by default it is disabled, so you have to enable it. How to do it, we will do it later. And let's come to the management IP. By default, the management IP is 192.168.1.245/24. Okay, this is by default the management IP, that is the Ethernet 0 IP. Okay, big IP device, right? And this is of the big IP series. If we talk about the Vlan series, it is 192.168.1.246, right? This is for the Vlan series. So what we have to do now, according to our, like, so you can use this IP to take the access, or you can change it. For example, we have the console access, so we can change it from according to our requirement. For example, let's say This is our big IP, right? So what I have done, I have put them into the 172.16.10.0/24 subnet, Ethernet 0 interface, and PC1 that is management adapter. Okay, management adapter. So I have put it down the PC these into the same subnet. Okay, do you got it? So I'm going to change the Ethernet 0 management IP from 192.168.1.25 to any IP that comes into the series. So I will give it first IP, that is 172.16.10.1. Okay, /24. Right. So how to do it? Simple. There is very simple command. Go to the CLI config. When you will type the config, this type of messages will come of the configuration utility. So it is asking you use this utility to add an IP address, net mask, and the default route. Default route here means the default gateway. Okay. For the management port on the system, so we will press enter. Okay. So with the arrow keys, you can move the cursor to yes and no. Right. You are able to see I'm able to move the cursor from yes or no using the arrow keys of your PC. So now see, what is the first message? Use automatic configuration of IP address. Now, what does the automatic configuration mean? Automatic configuration means that it is asking you want to use the DHCP to get the address automatically. Okay. So that is what it is asking you. So if you have a DHCP configured and you want your big IP device to get the address from the DHCP server, then you can say yes, right? And if you want to use static IP address, that is whatever you want to give according to your configuration, then you can use no. Okay, so what we are going to do, we haven't configured any DHCP server, so I'm going to say no and give it a static IP address, right?
Okay.
So it will show you current IP address, but as it's pre-configured by me, so if you will see here, when you will enter and you will press no for the previous message, then you will see here 192.168.1.245. That is a default IP. Okay. No. Then it is going to ask you to give it a IP. So whatever IP you want, you can use. Let's say 10.something121. Okay. Then use the cursor on OK. Then press enter. So are you getting it up till now?
Yeah.
Press OK. Netmask /24. Yeah, it is fine with me. Okay, enter. Okay, now do you want to create a default route? Default route means do you want to create a default gateway for the big IP device? Hello?
Yeah, Himanshu.
Yeah, actually, I lost the connectivity for a brief moment.
Okay.
So we were on to the big IP 01. Okay, so wait. Again, let's go through config, right? Okay. Then use automatic, no. Static IP address, right? And select an IP address, then press OK. Net mask, use the arrow keys for navigation, press enter. Then do you want to create a default route? Default route, I would say yes if you want to create it, yes. If you don't want to create it, no. Let's say you want to create it, give it IP, let's say 10.1, then press it OK, right? And then at last it will ask you, do you want to save this setting? Okay, or you don't. We would say yes, the hard work we have done, we want to save the settings. Press enter on yes. The recording is going on. Yeah, recording is going on. So yeah, so this is the configuration that you have done regarding the management port. You can check it out. Ethernet 0, config Ethernet 0. Okay, you will see here, this is the IP address, right? Okay, so we have override the management default management IP address with this IP address. We have given it also the, you can say, the management out, or you can say default gateway, mask, all that stuff. Okay, so this is fine,
Okay.
right? You will be able to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. It is easy. So now the second step is how to take the access of your big IP device using the window machine. So you will go into the window machine, right? You will go to the network adapter setting. This is a shortcut command, ncpa.cpl. You can use it using the run utility. So when you will press enter, you will directly enter into your adapter setting. So what you will do, first you will identify the adapters. See, there are 3 adapters onto this PC, E1, E2 and E0. Okay. First of all, you will identify out of these which one is the internet adapter. Okay.
Okay.
So if you will see, there are 3 adapters. So the adapter that will automatically get the IP address, because into the internet we already have a DHCP configured on this line. So it will automatically get the IP address. Okay, then you will be able to know, okay, this is the internet adapter. You will rename it. I have already renamed them. They will not come with the name. So you will name them for the easy visibility. So which is your internet adapter and all that. Okay.
Okay.
So you will rename them using this. Already the options are there. Okay, so you can easily see that it has got the 192.168.33 series IP from the DHCP. Okay, and that adapter will be your internet adapter. Okay, right?
Okay.
So you would keep it disabled. You will enable it when we will be utilizing the internet. Otherwise, you will keep on it on the disable. Okay.
Okay.
Now our task is to name one of the adapter as the management adapter. Rest of these, so you can take any one, right, and give it one the management name and another one the external adapter and the management. So management adapter will get the same subnet. I have already configured here 10.122. Okay. So our that IP was 10.121. If you would see, that is 10.121. So this IP just need to be on the same subnet, right? Doesn't need to be exactly the same. Just need it on the same subnet, right? And how you can do it? It is pretty simple, right? Double click on it. Go to the properties. Go to the TCP/IP volume. Internet Protocol version 4 TCP/IPv4. Double click on it, and you will get the option. So this is the DS automatic IP address. This is the static one. So when you will select here, so you have to give it a IP 172.168.10. whatever you want. Let's say 2. Okay, and mask I'm going to give is /24 255. And gateway I don't want to give it. I don't require it now. When I will require, I will give it. Okay, press OK, and also here OK. Then you can check it from here. It has got the IP 10. Okay. So guys, if I'm going too fast, right, tell me if you are not able to understand any of these steps. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are able now we have this management adapter, and this we will discuss later what the external adapter is. Just keep it disabled for now. Okay. So you will choose one interface, one adapter as a management, and both of these will be put as
Disabled.
disabled. Okay, apart from internet. So now, first of all, you need to do what you need to do. You need to ping your management IP address. Are you able to reach it or not? 16.122. Let me see what is the issue. .121. Okay. So the issue is that the management IP that I am given, that is little bit wrong. It is 16. Okay, not 168. You can check from here. The subnet was actually, so the subnet what difference? It was not able to take the IP. It is 16. So they need to be on the same subnet. So okay.
Okay.
Close. Again, try to ping 121. Okay, I'm able to ping it. Now, when you will able to reach the management IP address, now you will be able to take its graphical user interface, that is GUI. So you have to just select HTTPS, give a IP address 172.16.10.121. Okay, that is your management IP address. Use it with the HTTP colon // Okay.
Okay.
Press enter. Okay, so a message will come. Right, the connection is not private. It is giving you a warning. We will discuss why this warning is. This is warning is because it is a self-signed certificate of your big IP device, which your browser is not able to recognize because it is not a CA sign. Okay, so your browser doesn't know about the big IP device, right? It is saying the certificate you are offering me, I am not able to recognize it. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to. So it is giving you the error, right? So what we need to do, we need to just click on advanced from here and proceed because we know it is safe. That is because of our lab environment. Now it will ask you for the credentials to enter into the graphical user interface. So you will type by default the credential as we have discussed this. We will be using it here, the admin account. So admin and admin is by default, right? Admin and the admin as we have discussed here.
Yeah.
Where it is gone. This one. Root, the password is default, admin credential is the admin itself. Okay. So you will type admin and admin. Then you will enter into the home page. Okay, this is your home page. But as I have done the licensing, it is directly enter into here. But when you will be doing the licensing, it will ask you to license the device, activate the device. It will not get you to the home page. Okay.
Okay.
So how to do the licensing? To do the licensing, there are two ways. One is through the GUI, one is through the CLI. Let me first show you the CLI way. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to type a command dossier. Okay, dossier. Sorry, it is get dossier. Get_dossier space -b. Okay, then you have to type here the key that you have got. Right. Like I'm typing something like that. I'm just typing random numbers, so it will take it as a key. Okay, so like this type of keywords will come. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So this is a dossier. Let's take a look into a slide. Configure the management IP address. Okay. Right. So it is asking you how you can do it. We have three steps, three things from where we can configure the management IP address. We have done it via like this. We have done it via console. Okay. That was the console window. That's what I am doing. Okay. So we are configuring this IP address. You can also configure it using the LCD panel and control buttons if you are physically near the device. Okay. And these are the default IP that we have discussed of the big IP series and the Piprion series. Right. And how you will do it? We have seen the config command. Right. So this slide we have covered already. If you have any question, you can ask.
Okay, DOS here means like registration keys or
Yeah, we will discuss. It is going to come
okay,
the theory. That is why I have started the slide. Okay.
okay,
And okay, so see, so to get the configure the device, we need first accesses. We can access the command line. Okay, we can access the command. We can access the command line, CLI. We can also access the GUI, that is graphical user interface, using the HTTPS. It is known as configuration utility also. And when you will access the CLI, you will get enter into the DNS bash, right? And tmash, we also have the access of the tmash. Okay. And for the to get the GUI, we have already discussed it. You can HTTPS to the management IP address. Okay, whatever you will give.
okay,
Access can be restricted. How can be restricted? We are using the admin credentials, so we have total access, but we will later see, we can also create other user as well. Okay, according to
okay,
your credentials, your access can be restricted. Similar way goes with this also. We are using root credentials to enter, which also has end-to-end access, total access. So that is first method, right? As we have done with the management IP address, and we will later see we can also use the self IP address. We will see what self IP address is using the HTTPS. We can also HTTPS to the self IP address. We will see what these are, and the access can also be restricted. And with the CLI, we can also do the SSH to the management IP or the self IP address, right? Okay.
okay,
This is after you have set up the management interface. You know what the management IP is, and your machine is able to reach that management IP. So you can use any of these methods. For example, if I will go to our computer and I have the putty right here, so I can use the management IP address because I am able to reach 10 dot, it was 21, so I can use SSH and I will get the access. Click on yes, I will get the access of the device, big IP device. Right here I am. Okay, actually this one, the window we are seeing, this is the console window. Okay, for the virtual edition.
okay.
So up till now you are fine, right guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's move on to the another step, that is licensing, that we are on. So for the licensing part, what you need to do first, you need to get the keys by registering yourself at the F5 site. They will give you a trial key that is free for 90 days. And with the registration keys, for example, in this example, if you are able to see the cloud means the internet. Okay, it means your big IP device has access to the internet. It is directly connected to the internet. Okay, so
Okay,
in that case, we will start with the base registration key. We will generate the dossier. Okay, now what does this dossier contain? Dossier contains the key that you have put up into the device, right? Okay, and it
okay,
contains also your device identification information. Okay, device serial number. Okay, your device MAC addresses, right?
If it is a virtual device,
Yeah, they will also generate the dossier.
so dossier is a file.
Yeah, dossier is like a encrypted file, you can say.
Yeah.
So the dossier will be generated. Now this dossier contains the, regarding the keys and your device information. Then you will generate the dossier, this dossier, right, to the F5 licensing server. Now F5 licensing server, you have to submit these information that you have generated, or you can say you have to submit the dossier onto the F5 licensing server. Okay. If your device is directly able to access the internet, then you can follow this method, is the automatic method. You can follow the automatic method. Okay. You don't need to do anything. You just need to put the keys, and F5 or big IP device will do all of the work behind the scenes, all of the work behind the scenes. Okay.
okay,
Automatically the dossier will be generated. Automatically the file will be registered. Your dossier will get registered onto the F5 licensing server, and now the F5 licensing server will generate the license. Okay, and it will generate the license, and that license you need to install into your big IP device. Okay.
okay,
Okay, so this was the case when your device has direct access to the net, to the internet. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you will see in our lab environment, we haven't given direct access to the internet to the big IP device. Okay, access we have given is to the workstation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
only workstation has the access, so we can't be able to use the automatic method that I have shown you, this method, right? So what we will do, we will go with the manual licensing. Now what the manual licensing is, so automatically we have seen, automatically we don't have to do anything, just put the keys and big IP will do the work behind the scenes automatically. But what is the mandatory condition? It needs to have the direct access to the internet. Your big IP device should be connected to the internet. Okay, but as in our lab environment there is not. So what you need to do, so what is there, our PC is there, PC has the access to the internet, right? So what we will do, we will generate the dossier and we will dossier to the and get the dossier onto a local machine, that is PC. Okay, we can download it as a file or it can be into our browser, right? Okay,
Okay.
so this dossier, now we can from the PC, as it is able to go to the internet, so through this workstation we will be able to register the dossier at the F5 licensing server. Okay, and get the license and to our local machine, and from the local machine to the big IP device. Okay, so this is the manual method. Okay, here the dossier and the licensing part we have to do it ourselves. Generate the license and generate the dossier and get the license. Okay,
Okay.
so how to do it after the, so okay, so let's go. So this is the licensing part. So one really easy way, so like that, you have generated the dossier right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you need to copy the dossier. Control shift okay, so this is your dossier, there should not be any space. Okay, so this is your dossier. How you will open the clipboard, control shift and alt. Okay, the clipboard will be open onto your browser, so control A and control C. So this is our dossier. So you have to go to i5 licensing server. So F5, the first link is coming of that F5 licensing server. Okay, so it is directly asking you to enter the dossier, right? So you
Yeah.
will press Control plus V and there is lot of spaces. So this should not be there. Let me see if we can do it right.
We can upload the file, right? Otherwise.
Yeah, we can upload the file otherwise like that. For example, if you will do, for example, I have done this automatically. I have done this using the CLI. You can also generate the dossier using the GUI as well. So manual method is both by GUI as well as CLI, right?
Okay.
So if you are able to get the access of the rack, I think you have got it, the files and the licensing keys. So what you can do, you can follow the GUI, your GUI. Okay, you can follow the step for the GUI, right?
Okay.
So what will happen? Let me remove my licensing file. Okay. So I have removed my licensing file, right? So no license. So if we will go now, see, now there is no license, right? I have
Okay.
removed the licensing file. So if I try to HTTPS, it is 121. Okay, so it is coming as this one. Okay, when you will enter this type of page will come. Okay, no
Okay.
license exists presently for the device, and it is asking you license not activated. So you will activate it. The key you have got, you will put it here. Okay.
Okay.
The key you have got, you will put
Yeah.
here. So already I have the key of my previous license. This is the license. No, this is the. It's not the license. This is the dossier. Here is the license. Okay, I have taken the backup of the license, and I have removed the file. This is the license file.
We can install license in only one virtual machine, or we can install multiple.
What? Yeah, we can add the add-on. There are add-on keys. For example, you will see here there are add-on keys. Okay.
Okay.
So you can add the other keys as well, right? And you can select the automatic or the manual method by clicking onto this one. Okay.
Okay.
So this one is the my key, and what is my IP to enable it to be enable the internet. Okay, so here is the file. Copy it and paste it on my desktop. Okay, so actually I have already downloaded the license previously, that while doing the configuration. Let me show you how to do it and source. Okay, so actually this was my key.
Okay.
This is my key. Copy it. Yeah. This one is my key, and I would paste it here. Okay.
Okay.
I will use the manual method. Why I'm not using automatic? Because my big IP device doesn't have the
Direct connectivity to internet.
yeah. So registration key is not valid. So
I think it's for models. I think that key.
not model. Actually, it is missing because the key is not that much small. There is one more.
Yeah, I have like 3 lines for the keys.
Yeah, it is a little bit bigger. Okay, so you already have the keys, you know how to do it, right?
You want me to share my key to here? Or?
Mm, Okay, so when you will click the key, then it will give you that like dossier. Okay,
Okay.
you get it, guys.
Yeah.
Uh, so key you will get through the big IP, but here I was having the key. I have just get the keys. So you will get the key, and one thing that you have to remember on this PC to other tabs, right? You will not be able to do the copy paste. Okay, so you have to type the keys with the keyboard into the previous window that we were able to see. You need to type it. Okay. So it will give you a dossier. So what you need to do, you can paste the dossier, or you can download this dossier as a file. Okay. Then upload also.
Okay.
And it is giving you already an option for the licensing server, right? So you also need to enable your internet for it. So internet adapter I have enabled already. Here you can see internet adapter is enabled. You can check it out if you are able to get the access of the internet. Pinging the Google DNS 8.8.8. So I am having the access. I have got the dossier. You will click on this one. Okay. So while you will click on this one, directly you will get the licensing, the dossier, licensing server. Okay. Then you can simply do copy and paste. Copy and paste the dossier here. Right. The dossier is here next. So it is going to give me an error because I already have used this key, right?
Okay.
Okay. So but it will give you a license instead of this error, right? Because your keys will be unused. So it will give you here the license like this.
Okay.
Not this one. This is the dossier. This one. It will give you the license like this. Okay. Okay. So this is the license file. So this license file will be generated. You can download it as well. Okay. Are you getting it, guys?
Yeah, Himanshu.
So you will get the license file like this. Okay. And you need to copy and paste it from there to here. Right here. or okay.
Okay.
You copy and paste it from here to here, then click on next. Your device will reload, reboot when you will paste the license, and let me see if the license was right or not. That license.
Actually, I'm having 3 keys. We have used only single key, or we have to copy and paste all the keys for getting
single key will do fine. You have got, I think so, minimum they give you 2 big IP keys and 1 big IP key while registering. So you have to use the big IP keys.
In big IP, I am having 3 keys.
Yeah, you can use any of it.
Okay.
Anyone. If you face any problem, you can ask me. Right, it is now. Let's see how much time it will take. Getting the changes. Okay, so after the so this is the license. You got it. The license that we have got, we have pasted onto the big IP. Right now it is rebooting. So let's see that it get it done. I think so it is this device license. This will work fine. Okay, so configuration changes have been verified. Now you will click on continue. Okay, the license for this device is expired. Okay, so this is the old license. My license has been expired, so you can use another one, right? So but your license will work fine. Okay.
Okay.
And here the list will come of the license. But I have saved it. So I have to also go to the license, and I don't have the keys. Okay, guys, if you have the keys, can you pass me on one key, anyone, so that we can do it successfully? My license has expired.
Yeah, I will give.
You can message me down. Okay. That is
yeah, I put it in chat.
Okay. Copy. Okay, so guys, let's try to do it from the start, so everything will be fine. Activate.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. delete that. We will do the manual edit, and we will paste the license here. So this is the latest that you have given me. Yeah. Okay. Then you will select the manual one, click on next. Okay.
Okay.
The license has been, the dossier has been generated. Click here to access Wi-Fi licensing server. So you have to check, you should have the internet connectivity before that. Okay, so I have clicked on this one. So it will open to enter the dossier. I will select the dossier from here, copy it. Previously the dossier is present that we have saved. So we will delete it. Now you will paste the dossier. Okay. So this is the dossier from here. So from here you have to paste it on here.
Okay.
Right, and then click on next. Okay, so the license has been generated. Okay, this is the license, right? You can see this is the licensing file. So what? Oh, sorry, it is the terms and condition. You have to accept it.
Okay.
These are terms and condition. Click on it. I have read and agree. Click on next. And now this is the license. Okay. What the modules are active, all that stuff. So you need to download it. You can also download it as a file. Download the license onto your local machine. So sometime if a problem will come. Okay, here it has license. I need to save it on the desktop. So this one should be deleted. And also. And paste the license here. So this is our license. Okay, licensing file that we have got. So give it a name if you want. License. Okay, so this is a licensing file which will come in handy if somehow your device is wiped out or the configuration has changed. Right. So now you have got the license. Copy and paste it here onto the license section. Okay, so we have pasted it. Now go to below, scroll down and click on next. Receiving configuration data. Okay, so it is rebooting, and after the, because we are done with the licensing, after the licensing is done, okay, it is rebooting itself. You got that, right? How to do it?
Yeah.
You will get the keys. You will put the keys when you will log into the device, and then you will select the manual method, then click on next. It will generate a dossier. You need to paste the dossier onto the F5 licensing server, accept the terms in the condition. It will generate the license, and you have paste the license onto your browser window. Then it will going to save it onto the big IP device. Okay.
Add-on key will require reboot, or
yeah,
if you add any keys after later.
What? Yeah, you can add it later also.
No. If you add some add-on keys later, the device require reboot, or not required. If the device is in production, it will be the problem, right?
Yeah, it is the problem. Therefore, into our production, we generally take two big IP devices. Okay, for the redundancy purpose, and generally we first do any changes or upgrade a device. That is a standby one, not the active one. Okay.
Okay.
When the standby upgradation is done, then we will make it active. Then make the active device as the standby and do the upgradation on that device. Okay. So it is not like that. If you want to install any hotfix, or you want to install any patch, or want to upgrade the software version you are running operating system of your device, you always do first with the standby one. so that the outage can be minimum, or you can say the downtime can be minimum.
Okay.
So we have downloaded it, no need for this page, and I'm also going to disable the internet if we are done with it. And okay, so if you want to check through the CLI also, you can check. Nano is a notepad editor of the Linux. Nano space / config / big IP dot license. Okay, so this is the directory, and this is the file name, right, on which your license is saved. So you can check this is the license, right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you can check it out, and you have to press Ctrl X to get out. Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to remove that file, licensing file, you can do it like this. RM means remove, nano, give it the file path, config / big IP dot license. Okay, so if you type RM, that is removed, that file will be removed. So presently we don't want it. Get it removed, and there are CLI step also to license your device. Okay.
Okay.
For example, you just have to. I will show you if you want to select that license. Okay. So this, okay. This workstation, I have to remove it somehow. Stuff. I don't know. Okay, so after the licensing is fine, right? You guys, you can do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, hit the.
Yeah,
the
fine.
next step is to do the provisioning.
Okay.
Now, provisioning means allocation of the resources to a respective module. Now, according to the license, you will see what the module you will get that have the licensing as a full, and which have the limited licensing, means only a limited feature you can use. Okay.
Okay.
Now, to this module, you have to do the provisioning. Provisioning means allocation of the resources, right? Allocation of the resources. So, unlicensed modules can be provisioned with limited features, right? If you can see limited mods available without a license, like that stuff. And if you will see the modules that are licensed, okay, the modules that are licensed, we can do it. For example, these are the limited users, that is a limited version, but the modules that are fully licensed, like our LTL, okay. So we can use dedicated, nominal, and minimum method for the license, right? So what these methods are according to these minimum and nominal. I will select accordingly the memory or the resource, CPU, disk, and the memory. The resources will be allocated. Okay. So there are 3 methods that we will discuss. Just the feature is done. Keep the license. Okay, everything is fine, right? You can see the licensing has been done. Everything is good. But because my device was previously having the configuration, so it is not asking you for the step. Yeah, I have the saved configuration in the device. It has already put it up. But if you will take a fresh device, it will start from this, like this. Like after you will do the license, it will start from here. Okay. Then you will do it. It will show you what is the licensing type. It is the evaluation that you have taken down from the F5. licensing date, on which date you have licensed it, up till the date it is valid. Okay, expiration date and the modules which are licensed, active modules. Okay, so these are the modules which are presently running, and you can see from here. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to click on next. Okay guys,
Okay.
you need to click on next. Then this will come, the provisioning, right? Provisioning section, provisioning. So this is the provisioning one. You can see according to the free trial, the Big IP will give you carrier grade NAT license, LTM license, ASM license, GTM license, APM, and also the ASM also, AFM also, AVR also, right? And iRules, Alex also. Okay, but in this course we are going to only do the LTM. So we have the option is dedicated, nominal, or minimum. And if we do this check, right, it means none. We are not allocating it any resources. So we can allocate the resources. Here it is small, medium, large. For the management, already the small is chosen. So we can also do it like this. Not available, so it will be the limited one, right? Or you can see the unlicensed here, right? You can also use them, but with the limited functionality. But if you will see, our main task is to do this, right?
Okay.
Okay, so you can see there is also, it is giving you a little bit regarding the memory. If you will see here, it is telling you what is the memory it needs, required memory, required disk space. Okay, so let's see what the licensing type, what is the provisioning types. Provisioning types are 3. Okay, so one is the dedicated. One is the nominal. Third is the minimum or the minimal. Minimum. So what is the difference between these 3 provisioning methods? The difference is that dedicated means the all of the resources, all of the CPU, memory plus disk, you are allocating it to a single module. Okay, means if I do the dedicated with the LTM, means all of the resources that are present into my hardware box will be given or will be dedicatedly allocated to the LTM. Okay, total, all of the resources, CPU, memory, all that stuff. Okay, so you can see the option is there, right? Nominal, dedicated, and minimum, right? So if I select the dedicated, so all total the resources will be allocated to it. Okay, so when you will use it, you will use it when, for example, you only want to run a single module onto your hardware box, onto your Big IP hardware box. Then you will use the dedicated. You don't want to use parallelly 2 modules, right? You want to use only a single one. So you will use the dedicated for that particular module. Okay, then we have the nominal. Now, what does the nominal mean? Nominal means give it a minimum resources that this module required. Okay, for example, we have this resources, okay, and our module required only this one. Let's say LTM required only this one, right?
Okay.
For working, minimum LTM required is this one. So it will give the LTM the minimum one, and the rest of which is present, which are extra. Okay, so these are the extra resources that are still left after we have allocated the minimum resources to the LTM for its working. The extra is still left. They can be utilized for the other modules like LTM or like GTM or like any other else. Okay.
Okay.
And still, if there are left, okay, still if there are left, then they can be utilized for the same device, that is LTE. Okay.
Okay.
You get it? Means after the minimum allocation, if still the resources are left, they will be added to it. Okay. Extra resources still are left. So when do we use? We will use it when we have the we want to run multiple modules onto a single hardware box, we will use the provisioning method as minimal. Sorry, nominal.
Nominal. Okay.
Nominal. And with the minimum means whatever, for example, LTM required, the minimum resources that will be given to it. GTM required any of the resources, minimum resources that will be given to it. And plus, if we have the extra, right? And let's say I have covered APM as the nominal. Okay. So what will happen in that case? So I have provisioned them as minimum. Okay. LTM and GTM modules, and APM as nominal, and I have the extra resources left. So minimum will be given to it. First step, minimum will be given to it. When the extra are still there, so it will be given to the nominal one, and the minimum, which are provisioned as the minimum, they will not get the extra resources. Okay.
Okay.
Do you get this, guy?
Yeah. Yeah, Himanshu.
So these are the different provisioning methods that we use for the provisioning of the resources. What the provisioning is to allocate the resources, you can check it out from CPU, disk, and memory also. From here, what is the resources that you have and what has been given.
Memory size, it will allocate by default if we select minimal or nominal, or we have to choose memory size for CPU or.
See, you can. There already, for example, your big IP minimum required 8 GB. Minimum
Okay.
to minimum 8 GB, right? So 8 GB you have to give it. That is for sure. And there are certain resources that you have to put for the management and for the TMF. Okay.
Okay.
TMF for the traffic management microkernel, right? So automatically they will be chosen from them. So
Okay.
if you would say from recently, yeah. So you have to click on next after it, right? So we are done with the resources one. We have covered everything. Okay, ability to provision multiple modules depend on the available resources, right? If you don't have the appropriate resources to run the multiple modules that they need boot up or to proper functioning, you will not be able to provision them. Okay, and management provisioning depends on number of configured objects, how much object you have configured. And one more thing that you have to keep in mind while doing the provisioning, if you reprovision and you change from one provision method to another one, then what will happen? Your device will reboot, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you will do the provisioning, your device is going to be reboot. For example, if you will see here, when I will click on next, I am using the dedicated. Okay, so it will lost the connection. So okay, next. Okay, so it is asking you reprovisioning may restart daemons or reboot the which was lost collection. Are you sure you want to proceed? Okay. I'm going to click on OK. Then it is going to provision it. Okay, device is rebooting up. So you have to also remember it. Now after it, you have to go with the device certificate. So if you see, you have two types of certificate. One is your self-signed certificate. Your device will generate with of its own certificate. It will generate. So another one is for the you will get the certificate from the CA authority, right? CA signed certificate. So these certificates are better than this one. Okay. For example, the authorities like VeriSign, Verizon, and other are their popular authorities which are really a brand name. This is a business.
GoDaddy.
Yeah, GoDaddy. So it is actually a business for these three authorities to assign the certificates, right? They will keep the information of your device and will assign you a certificate along with the keys and the signature, right? So there are CS servers into your domain as well, in which you install all these certificates, and from these from these CS servers, your device can install a certificate, right? So this was all about the certificate. Generally, I'm giving you just a brief introduction. We will go into detail when we will do the SSL offload, right?
Okay.
It is still booting up. So the next slide is the platform configuration. Okay. So when you're done with the certificate installation, then the next step is to do the platform configuration. Now with the platform configuration, what needs to be done? Okay, so first of all, it will ask you, see, they are showing you only a half part. Actually, there is above, there is, then you will see there is other part as well. Continue. Just give me a moment, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the device has not booted up, so we have to reboot the device. Generally, your device will reboot automatically, but here it is asking me to reboot it manually. Guys, give me a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it is taking time to boot up. So we will see when it will see what it will ask you. Now at the platform configuration, first of all, you know this is the root account, the password. So the password is the default, right? As we have discussed. And the password of the admin account is admin by default, right? SSH access is enabled by default, right, onto your all IPs, right? So we can change it. You want to enable the SSH access, you can disable the SSH access, or you can restrict the SSH access onto the list of the IPs you want. Okay, right? Here. And second thing, it is not showing you. It is asked you to enter the the host name of your device, the device host name, right? Your device management IP. Okay, these two things it will also ask you. Okay, so what you can do here, you have to definitely you can change these passwords by default. So, okay, default passwords you can change from here. Okay, not put what the default is. You can change it. You can change this behavior. You can give it a host name to your device. You can also change the management IP that you have previously given, right? So, okay. Okay, guys. So, right. So we can do this thing. Let's log in. So admin at the rate. ABC. So we were discussing what you can do with the platform. So we have gone through the licensing. These are the modules that will show you. Provisioning next. Right, these are the certificates. Okay, so it is going to take the default certificate with this name, organization, and your company, all of these things. So you generate a certificate later. I will show you how to do it. For now, you just have to click on next. Okay, guys, you are with me, right?
Yeah.
Click on next. So certificate is complete. Now the step that we are discussing will be this one. Okay, general property and user administration. So you can see the host name that you have to give. See, the blue sign means these things are mandatory to get filled. Okay. So, but I filled it all of these. So the IP that you want to change, you can change it. For example, I'm changing it to 1, right? Network mask is this one. If you want to change here, these are the options, whatever you want to give. Management root, this means the default gateway. Host name that you will give should be FQDN. That means fully qualified domain name. It can be .com, .net, .org, anything. You just have to end it like that, right?
Yeah. But where will we get the host name from?
Host name already, actually the previously that I have done practical. So from it I have given it, right? So you will just have to give it. For example, it is the name that you want your device to get. Like I want to give it big IP UniNets.org. Okay. So you can give it anything that you want, right? Just it needs to be a fully qualified domain name. That's the main thing. Okay, and these are the credentials of your root account and the admin account, the password. These are just the password. So if you want to change, you can change it from the default one that we have seen, or if you want to disable the login, I'm not recommending it. You should do it, because if your login is disabled, then anyone who has the management IP can enter into your big IP system, right? And these are the, and then SSH access, yeah, we will allow it, but if you want to restrict it, you can restrict it. Means from this respective source, the IP will be allowed. So from this respective IP, a particular IP or particular subnet, you can allow to get the SSH of your big IP device, right? So you can define it here. So I'm not going to do it. So let's click on next. The browser is being redirected to the new management port. Why? Because we have changed the management IP address. Okay. So again, you can see it has been redirected to the new one automatically. Okay. So you can also check what is your management IP addresses by clicking onto the big IP one, and these are okay. That's the page. Okay, so we have changed the management IP address from 121 to 1, and you can see here that is our host name. Okay, that we have changed. So okay, so we are done with this. Licensing we are done. Resource provisioning we have done it. So we were on to the platform, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So we are also done with the platform. Now after the platform,
gateway and IP address should be different, or you're using same?
Which one?
Gateway and IP address, management route and IP address.
Management route and the IP address, that will be your gateway IP address. So it can be, generally you can change it. For example, let's give it 11. Okay.
Okay. Now conflict will not come if you use same IP address.
Same IP address, it will come up, for sure, but you will not see that your device and the management IP address is the same. Okay.
Okay.
You will never see them having the same. Your local IP address is the same, and your management IP address is the same. That management IP address means that you already know when your device want to go to a different network, so it will utilize the default gateway. Okay.
Yeah.
Already know. So never, these two things will not be same practically, but if you will put it same, it will accept it. For big IP point of view, it is not a problem. But it is not a practical thing to keep it. So I have updated them. So now it is done. So after when you are done with the platform configuration, now you have to do the network and the VLAN configuration. Okay. And first one it is going to ask you will be the HA VLAN. Let me do it again in the setup utility. So we have gone these steps, right? Provisioning we have gone through. Okay, this certificate we have gone through, platform we have gone through. Then after it is asked for the standard configuration if you want to proceed, you want to finish it just from here. Okay, so we will follow this one, right? We will click on next. Okay, that is for the HA purpose, config sync and the high availability. So for the high availability, there are two options, network and the serial cable, or you want to use both. You want to use both, right? You can, if you also want to use network and you want to use serial cable as well, or you want to use just network. Okay, for the sending the heartbeat messages for the high availability. So I'm choosing this network.
So Himanshu, like let's say we have two big IP devices, and if we make the big IP configuration changes in the active device, will the change automatically reflect in the passive device?
See, we will cover that one into the HA, but let me give you a little bit introductory part. Okay, so this one is the active, right? This one is the standby. Okay, so what you can do is, if you have made any changes, if you are doing something update, you are doing anything changes, so always will say it is recommended to do onto the standby device. Okay, do the changes here, right? After doing the changes, make it as the active, make it as the standby, and see the changes you have done are all right or not. And second thing, you are asking about whether they are going to travel onto the BIP one or not, right? Or it is going to travel onto this one or not. So there are two options. One option is to do the manual config synchronization, and second is to do the automatic. If you select the automatic, you will see automatically as soon as you save the configuration onto one device, it is going to be passed on to the other device. Okay, so actually they keeps on updating, syncing the configuration file. If you choose the manual one, with the manual one, what you need to do, you need to sync that device with that device. Okay, or you can say you can push the configuration to the group. For example, there can be more than two devices, so you can push the configuration to the group. For example, it is also standby, so that it could also be updated. Okay, so we are going to cover the HA in detail when I will teach you the HA. Okay, so not an issue. I will also show you what files are synchronized and which file are not, right? What are the steps? We will go through it all. So regarding your question, so that was your answer.
Yeah. So big IP group here also comes like big IP IQ. Big IQ?
No, big IQ is different thing. Big IQ is like that. For example, now
centralized location for managing all.
Yeah, let's say you have 10 big IP and you want to manage it from the single big IP. You don't want to don't want your enterprise engineer to sit on every device. You can simply do it from here, big IP. But into our course, we will not discuss the big IQ. We will just focus on the big IP.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any other question, guys?
No questions.
Okay. So we were on to this one, right? So now it will come to, so what previously we have done the little bit regarding, shown you the config sync setting, okay, and the failover setting, which will again we will discuss into the HA. But let's say now let's come to the internal network and the internal VLAN configuration. Now what we are doing the network configuration and the VLAN configuration. Okay. So see your big IP device in our lab environment. What we are doing is big IP1. So one subnet that you are using from the PC. This is going to be the management subnet, right? We have chosen it to be 172.16.10.0. You can change it. You can use any one subnet you want, but just remember, don't use it 192.168.1.0 subnet on any of these, because this subnet is utilized by your internet connection. Okay. So they will overlap and it will create a problem. So don't choose this one. Apart from it, you can use any subnet that you want. Another subnet that we will choose, for example, we will choose it that will be for your internal VLAN. Now, what is the internal VLAN? Internal VLAN means the subnet or the VLANs at your server side. We have 4 servers. Server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4. So we will choose our internal subnet here, and internal VLAN we will choose. Okay. So let's say I have already configured, that is 11.0/24. Okay. So my big IP device has 172.16.10.1, right? Here .1. Here I will choose will be 172.16.11.11. Right? Okay. That will be your internal VLAN IP, and that network is known as internal VLAN. Okay, and your server's IP will be 172.16.11.1, 11.2. Okay, 172.16.11.2, 11.3, and 11.4. Do you get it?
Yeah, 11.11 we will give on to the interface of the big IP.
Yeah, generally I will show you how it is done, and we don't assign directly the interface to the big IP. We assigned it to the VLAN. IP is assigned to a VLAN, then this VLAN is assigned to the interface or the interfaces. Okay, we don't assign an IP to the interface directly. We assign the IP to the VLAN, and this VLAN is binded to the interface. Okay.
And so you mean we have to configure L3 both in the switches and the load balancer as well for the servers?
No, you don't need to do anything with the switch. If you want to do with the switch, you can just need to put them into the respective VLAN. Okay, if you want to segregate the layer 2 traffic, I will show you.
Okay.
Right, and here they will be connected via another subnet that will be your external VLAN. Okay, this will be the subnet, which means the client will be accessing the servers through it, your application through it. So that will be the external VLAN. From the external side, the client will enter into your internal network. Okay, so I will assign it an IP. So I am using it already here, 172.16.100.0 subnet. Okay, so and this IP will be 172.16.100.11. Okay, and that will be interface 1/2. That will be interface 1.1, and you already know that is a Ethernet 0. And another one will be here, big IP to big IP for the HA purpose. Okay, so that will be 1.3, and I will give it IP of 172.16.33.11. Right? Okay, guys, you get the idea?
Yeah.
10.0 for management, 100.0 for external, 33.0 for the 16.33.0 for the HA, and 11.0 for the internal. Okay, and .11 and .11 and .11 will be the self IP address for the external VLAN, internal VLAN, and for the HA VLAN. And only your management IP will be .1. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go and configure these settings. Okay, I have already done. So this is your, first of all, this is your internal VLAN, right? Okay.
Okay.
First one that comes is internal VLAN. The self IP address is 11.11. Okay, as we have discussed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how we are doing this configuration? We are doing it via setup utility. This is known as setup utility.
Okay.
We can also do it via traffic management shell, that is CLI, or the configuration utility that is directly going to the GUI. Okay. Okay, so this is our internal VLAN IP, right? Associating it with the interface 1/1. How? Delete it. Select 1/1 is there. Select it as untagged. Okay, and it will come as auto. And click on add. Right? So this IP has been bind to the internal VLAN, and this VLAN has been bind to this internal. Okay, as a untagged.
Okay.
And this one is your self IP address. Okay, and this is your mask of your internal VLAN IP, and this is your floating IP. We will discuss floating IP later. It is also utilized into the case of HA. Okay.
Okay. VLAN ID will be here 4094. We have to choose manually, or it will take automatically VLAN ID for each segment.
It will take automatically.
Okay.
Generally, it will be the auto. Okay. So
Okay.
you will see after the configuration, it generally chooses automatically a tag in reverse order from 1094, 1093, and 440, like that. Okay.
Okay. We cannot configure manually.
We can configure manually. We need to configure it manually when we are using a tagged interface. Okay.
Okay.
When we are configuring a tag interface, and that tag will be sent whenever the frame will be sent out from that particular interface. Okay. And
yeah, if you configure multiple VLANs in a single interface, then we can go for tag, right?
Yeah, we can go for the tag if we have a trunk in our environment.
Okay. Yeah, most probably we have trunk interface, right, in our environment. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can use it also. But for now, in our lab environment, we don't have. So we are doing it very simple for the starting, right?
Okay.
Auto add the interface. Okay, self IP address, floating IP address, and the port lockdown.
Okay.
Right? So I will also discuss what does the port lockdowns means. There are 3 types of settings: allow none, allow 443, allow default. Okay, I am choosing it as a allow default. Right? I will show you what does it mean. Okay, up till the time it is clear. That is the internal thing. Ram, you there?
Yeah, it's clear for me.
Okay, so let's click on next. Okay, now it is external VLAN 100.0 subnet. Okay, default gateway if you want to give, it is not required. So this is the floating IP address for the external VLAN. Same, I am choosing .33 as the floating IP address, both for the internal, both for the external. Okay, for the internal it was 11.33, for external it is 100.33, and that is the self IP address as we have discussed while discussing the lab setup. Okay, and the port lockdown I will show you what does that mean. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Associate the interface 1.2 as an untagged one, and automatically it has taken the tag as 4093. 4094 has been allocated to internal VLAN. But we are not using the tag, we are using it untagged, so it doesn't make any difference if there is a tag assigned or not. So just click on next. Now it is the HA VLAN. HA VLAN is 33.0 subnet, right? /24 4092 tag, automatically it will be given. I have assigned the interface 1.3, right? Assign the interface 1.3 and click on next. So all the 3 VLAN is done, right?
Okay.
Internal, external, and HA. Now that is NTP configuration. NTP means if you want to add any NTP server, so you will add it here, right? It will be added. If you want to use more than one, then you can also use more than one, right? If you have an NTP server in your environment, so you can use. We are not using, right? Just keep it as a blank. Click on next. DNS server configuration. You can add DNS server list. Okay, all of that you can add it. We are not using DNS. It is generally utilized when we use the GTM. So just click on next. So configuration settings, just use the known floating self IP address. Okay, don't use the floating self IP address any VLAN, right? Use the self IP address. Okay, so it will give you the self IP address. So you can use any one out of it. I am choosing internal one. Click on next. It is also part of HA. We will discuss it later. Okay, and simple keep it them as it is. It is the unicast failover setting. It has taken 2 interface. One it is checking is the management interface. Another one it is checking the HA interface, HA IP self IP address for the failover, means to check if the other device is up or down, right? And
Okay.
they are doing it at a particular port number 1026. It is a UDP port number. So click on next. You don't have to do anything. Mirroring connection, we will discuss the mirror. It is also part of HA, right? Mirroring means they will also keep on the connection table, keep sync of the connection table entries on the for example, we have 2 big IP devices, big IP 01 and big IP 02. So they will keep on mirroring the connection table entry. Whatever the connection it has, it will also give that information to its peer device. So give it IP. If you select it, we will also discuss it as a part of an access. So we are done with the basic setup. Okay, and click on finish. When you are click on finish, you have click on finish, then everything is fine, right?
Okay.
Okay, so what you need to do now, you need to go to your PC, go to your adapter settings and assign an external adapter, because these two adapters are already just give me a moment, guys. Okay.
Okay.
So we have done the basic configuration. Okay, so we were doing what we need to do then. We need to configure the your external interface, external adapter. Okay, here we have to configure it for the external VLAN, right? Details. So I have already, mine one is configured for the external VLAN. So you need to check it out whether you are getting you are able to ping the external VLAN or not. 11. So that was the self IP address on your external VLAN, right? And this is my management interface, which is there. So I'm able to ping my external VLAN IP, right? Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so means my reachability is there. So this is the basic setup that you have to do, right, for the traffic processing up till this point. I have recorded this lecture. You can go through it. You can do it, all this kind of stuff, right? All this configuration up till the time we have studied regarding it. And after it, we will be go through how to make the logical objects like pool, member, and nodes. Right? From our next chapter, we will study about pool, members, and node, what the virtual server is, traffic flow, the basic stuff. We will go through them. Okay, how to take the archives and all that stuff. So I will ask you to go through these so that you could be with me parallelly what I am doing the configuration. Okay. So right. So up till this point, everything is clear, right?
Yeah, probably I'll try to replicate this in the lab.
Yeah, and one more thing that I was telling you that we will discuss, that is the port lockdown, right? Port lockdown means, so basically when we were able to see it, when we were doing the configuration, you will be able to see it in your internal VLAN and external VLAN setting. Okay, external VLAN self IP setting, internal VLAN, external VLAN self IP setting, or the floating IP setting, right? So under it, there was an option of port lockdown on the self IP address or the floating IP address both, right? So what was the option? Option was to allow none, to allow 443, the port lockdown. Okay, so port lockdown, where we get these options when we were configuring the internal VLAN and the external VLAN, right? And giving them the self IP address. So under the self IP address, there were two types of IP address that we assigned for the internal and external VLAN. One is the self, one is the floating, right?
Okay.
So under these two IP, we get this setting for the port lockdown, and these are the options A, B, and C, right? Either to allow none, allow 443, allow default. So it means that the management traffic means the traffic that you are creating for this particular IP, that is a self IP or the floating IP, which type of traffic is allowed. Okay, you are allowing traffic only for the HTTPS. You are not allowing traffic destined for these self IP address or the floating IP address, or you are allowing some default type of traffic. Some traffic by default are allowed. Okay, so means which type of traffic will be allowed. For example, if you will see here, previously what I have done, I have tried to ping the self IP address, external self IP address, right?
Okay.
Right. Okay, so I'm getting a reply, means this, and I have selected the default. So means the ICMP is allowed into the default list. Okay. So if you will see what are the default IPs that are allowed, you will go. You can check. You will go to the tmesh and show net self allow. So system self allow default. Self allow. Okay, so you can see into the default list, these type of traffic is allowed for your floating or for your self IP address. Okay, IGMP is allowed. It can be on any port. OSPF is allowed. PIM is allowed for the multicasting. TCP is allowed. F5 query, that is at the different port. HTTPS is allowed by default. TCP, SNMP, SSH is allowed. UDP is allowed. 520, that is for the RIP, it is allowed. UDP for the domain name and UDP for the SNMP. So these types of traffic are allowed. For example, now it means that it means that I can take the HTTPS of your external interface as well. Let me check it out. It is allowing it. ICMP is allowed, but HTTP it is not allowing. Allow it. It needs to allow the ICMP, but it is not allowing it. Okay, I haven't finished it yet. Okay, so now it is finished. Now let's try to you will go to the network, you will go to the self IP. Okay, so you can see the port local setting has been allowed none. Okay.
Okay.
So because it is allowed none, so it is not, neither you are able to do the HTTPS or neither you are able to do the SSH. Okay, so you can allow the custom, whatever the traffic you want to allow, that is destined for this particular IP.
Okay.
Okay. So better to be to use custom. You can that is a custom, and that is a custom list which will include the default ports, or you can choose the allow default simple. So that is pretty fine also. So update, check it out. So it has been saved. Now let's try. Okay, so now you can see this traffic is being allowed. Okay.
Okay.
To proceed to the, so with the self IP address, you can also use it to get the access of your big IP device. As we have previously discussed onto the first class, that these are the TMM interfaces which can be used to process both type of traffic, your management as well as your traffic, application traffic as well. Okay. So you are able to get the access. You will get both access. For example, 172. Let me check it out whether I have also allowed onto the. Let also take the self IP address of this one is also reachable. So it is also none. So also allowed custom. Sorry, also allowed the default. So update.
Okay, external VLANs means DMZ hosted or outside?
So external VLAN means outside one. Our internal one, you can compare it with the DMZ one. Okay.
Okay. External means it's coming from internet, or we have to NAT the IP?
Internet. It is coming from the for now you will assume it as the traffic is coming from the internet, from the client.
Okay.
Directly hitting onto your. We will discuss it when I will teach you the traffic processing and how it is processed. So for now I was Okay, so we allowed the allowed default onto your external as well. So we can also take the HTTPS on the external IP as well now, the floating IP address.
Okay.
Okay. Again, and you can also take the SSH now, get the access on both the IP, that is the SSH access also, onto the self IP as well as onto the floating self IP address SSH. So both you are able to get, right?
Okay.
And from it also. Okay, so right. So this is the privacy error that comes. You have to click on proceed, then the credentials, right? So you got it. We can also use the self IP address to get the access of your device apart from management interface. Okay, but you need the reachability, and second thing, you need to think about the port lockdown, right? What type of traffic you have allowed on that is destination for that particular self IP address, right? So this was all the basic that we have gone through. Okay, so from the next class, what we are going to discuss is we will discuss from here. We will start from here. We are completed from here. We will start from here. What are the pools, members, nodes, virtual server, traffic flow? How does the traffic flow look like? What are the monitors, network maps? Little bit introduction to the T-Mesh and the hierarchical structure of the CLI, right? Different files, location, taking the backup, loading the backup.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff we will go through it. Then after completion of this, we will start the load balancing from our next class. I think we will be able to touch it. Okay, guys.
Okay.
So I'm breaking the class now, right?
Yeah, Himanshu. So probably we'll be meeting next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday, if you are having any problem while doing any type of licensing, while doing any type of thing, you can call me on my number. That is 829-88605. And that is.
Can you write your number in the chat?
Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is my number. So you can use it if you face any problem at any time regarding the lab, or you are not able to do anything that was supposed to be done like in a way. Okay, so you can call me.
So what is the best time to call you if there is any requirement?
The best time would be you can call me generally. You can call me between in the morning. Let's